So, the principal carbohydrate that is formed through photosynthesis is glucose. Human cells take carbohydrates into the cytoplasm, and it's being broken down. Human cells take carbohydrates into the cytoplasm, break down carbohydrates through metabolic processes, and then the energy is released. Bless you. Okay, so also after that, during cell respiration process, carbon dioxide is given off. Plants use it to form new carbohydrates. Plants produce ATP by using the energy from the sunlight and chloroplasts. And this is double membrane ATP producing organelles. Chloroplasts convert the solar energy into ATP, like right here. It's being into ATP stored energy. ATP is transported through the plant to produce the chemical energy needed for metabolic reactions. Do we have any questions so far? Okay. ATP then helps convert carbon dioxide into sugars and other stored energy compounds for the plant to survive. Okay. Oxidation reduction. How I like to think about it, guys, is oil rig. Oxidation loss, reduction gain. Oxidation is, like I said before, the loss of electrons during the reaction, and reduction is the gain of electrons during the reaction. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to be discussing a little bit about uphill, downhill reactions. And in respiration, there are only two uphill reactions. The movement of H plus into intramembrane space, which is the energy forms electrons, and this is the formation of the hydrogen ion gradient. That's very important, guys. Keep that in mind, that this is the formation of the hydrogen ion gradient. What did I just say? Taylor.
Hydrogen ion gradient.
Okay, good. You guys are paying attention. So, take that in mind because, hint, that is going to be a question on one of the last assessment that I'm going to hand out at the end of the class.
Oh, crap. Wait, what was it again?
Okay, it's the movement of H plus into intramembrane space. This is the formation of the hydrogen ion gradient. And just pay attention for that. Okay. And this is going to be what sort of reaction? What sort of uphill or downhill?
Uphill?
It is going to be correct. Uphill. Yes. The formation of the hydrogen ion gradient is uphill. And for those of you who don't know, some reactions are downhill, meaning that they proceed on their own toward equilibrium, which is the steady state that we all want to be at. And these reactions don't require an input of energy. Instead, they release energy that can sometimes be used to do work. However, uphill reactions require energy to proceed. For each of the following, indicate... Oh, sorry, bless you. Are you okay? Okay. For each of the following, indicate whether the reaction is downhill, uphill, or non-existent. And like I said before, like the example, the formation of the hydrogen ion gradient is uphill. Okay. Sorry, Dr. Bell. My friends are a little crazy. Okay. So, like I said, now we'll continue from here. ADP to ATP is the making of ATP. That is the making. Electrons move downhill when or because if it requires electrons, they are not going to move. Sort of think about it in the way that electrons, if there's a movement of electrons, then it's going to be downhill. If there's a releasing of electrons, it's downhill, because downhill is the releasing of electrons. Uphill is the requirement of electrons. So that's the difference. This is a loss of heat, which is then hardest to warm our bodies. And, okay, so let's move on. Okay, oxidation reduction. Oxidation reduction. So here is an example that we went over in class and that I really liked. And here is the stress donor, electron, the acceptor, oxygen, O2, relaxed donor, CO2, electron, the acceptor, and H2O. So, what happens now is that it went from here to here. So in comes food, out comes CO2. Oxygen becomes water, and food becomes CO2. So, as we can tell, like I said before, oil rig, right here. Oxidation reaction. So, it's always gonna be together. Alright, so here's some questions. Who wants to read the first question? Alright, guys. Taylor.
Okay, I will.
Taylor. Guys, you guys also have to start participating, not
only
only Taylor.
one.
Sorry, don't be afraid, I'm not gonna judge you.
Why is it that every time a molecule gets oxidized, another must be reduced?
Well, Taylor, since no one else clearly wants to participate, is because it's all about the electrons. The electrons lost from the molecules, they're being oxidized, which is the donor, so it must be received by another molecule, the acceptor. So if you look at this one here, see here, stress donor. So like here, the electrons lost from the molecules being oxidized. So right now the stress donor is being oxidized. It must be received by the acceptor. Oops. So here it's being oxidized, and it must be received by the acceptor. So then we go down here, where it's the relaxed donor, it's accepted. Now, let's make the world go around.
I'll read the next question.
Okay. Okay, I'll just read it so someone else can read it. Okay. Alright, no guys, this is very serious. So, what is the physical piece of sugar amino acids that ends up in the ATP? Okay. Do you guys need to go get a drink of water and come back? Thanks. Alright, so, what is the physical piece of sugar amino acid that ends up in ATP? Sorry, Dr. Val, I'd like to apologize for the people that are making some noise. They just, yeah, I made them walk out to get some water. Okay, so, don't worry, you guys are all doing great. Alright, so, once I said, what is the physical piece of sugar amino acids that ends up in ATP? Nothing! It's like a turbine. What in a reservoir of water ends up in electricity? This is actually, I really liked, I wrote it down in my notes, Dr. Bell, this is from the example that you gave in class. So all we've done is move the electrons. Okay, cellular respiration. The board presentation, where we'll be using expo markers, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. Okay, guys, so right now we're going to go to the board presentation. And before we go to that, does anyone have any questions before we move back to the activity room? Whether it's on what I was talking about, oxidation, reduction, any uphill, downhill, anything, oil rig.
Okay, so they kind of talked about oil rig in my chemistry class.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, never mind.
Okay, well, it's fine. I'll just go over it again one more time. So,
Okay.
like I said, oil rig, it's an acronym. There's one more. It's like wheel the line or something. And what it means is that, like, oil.
It's oxidation is lost and reduction is gained.
Yes.
Gained electrons, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Correct. Yeah, like oxidation, it's the loss of electrons. Reduction is the gain of electrons. And here, oops, I have a photo. So right now we have a stress photo, like I said before. There's a stress photo. Here's the electrons, the acceptor. In a situation, hold on real quick. Let me just find where I put that wonderful slide. Okay, here we go. So the electrons lost from the molecules are being oxidized. So see, right now the stress donor is being oxidized.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be accepted. So it must be received by another molecule, which is the accepted. So right here, it needs to be accepted. So then it goes down to right here, where it is accepted. And now it's at, like, equilibrium. And in, like I said before, in comes out food, out comes out CO2, and out... Okay.
Sorry.
No,
that makes sense now. Like, the visual kind of helped.
Okay, good.
There is uphill and downhill.
Yeah.
Can you explain uphill?
Uphill and downhill.
Okay. So, uphill and downhill. So basically what this is that whenever there's like a movement of electrons, or basically, yeah, whenever there's movement of electrons, it's going to be downhill. Downhill is the releasing of electrons, and uphill is the requirement of electrons. Yeah, so electrons, think about, like, electrons are lazy. Electrons don't want to move. I don't know exactly, like, how to say this, make you understand, but there's only older is known that in the respiration, like the cellular respiration, there are only 2 uphill reactions. This is not the best way to think about it, but it's the movement of H plus into the intramembrane space, which is the energy forms electrons, and this is the formation of the hydrogen ion gradient, and ADP to ATP, which is the making of ATP. So basically those are
and ATP is energy, correct?
Yes. Perfect.
Okay, I've got it.
Perfect. If you take away anything from this presentation, it's ATP is energy.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now that we know that, now we're going to move to the whiteboard, Dr. Bell, where I will be doing...
Whiteboard.
Yay! Cellular respiration.
So excited.
Okay, hi Dr. Bell. So we've all moved back to the room. Some people are still trickling in. So if you hear the door opening, closing. Sorry about that. Alright. You guys. Alright, so I'm just gonna start.
Oh, Joanne, look.
Yes.
I'm eating a high energy electron, right?
Yeah, here, come show it. Look, high energy electron, Dr. Bell. Okay, good. I'm glad we at least have someone learn something from this presentation. If anything, it's that people are learning, and that now maybe should even do better on the final. You never know. Maybe there'll be a question that says, "What is a high energy electron?" Now Taylor will know.
Comida.
So if anything, Dr. Bell, if anything today, we now know that someone has been blessed with knowledge. Okay, so like I said before, we are now at. Wasn't there more? I have one. Fine. Okay, so. Oh shoot, I had more. Okay, cellular respiration board presentation. So, I'm going to be explaining to you guys this process. Okay, so we start off. Alright guys, don't judge me for my drawing skills. Okay, perfect. So we have glucose, amino acids, carbohydrates, sugar, and this is all the process of glycolysis. Process of glycolysis. Can you see if anyone else has any more expo markers? Thanks. Thanks, Andrew. Alright, good. So now what happens is that there's a downhill reaction, downhill reaction as, okay, right here, as this, okay, here, let me start, sorry, I don't want to confuse anyone. So the amino acids, carbs, sugars, this process of glycolysis, this is right now happening in the cytoplasm. For those of you who did not know that, this is happening in the cytoplasm. And pyruvate is being broken down into a 3-carbon molecule into the mitochondria. So here. And then what happens is that the pyruvate, it starts the Krebs cycle. So the Krebs cycle is right here. Arrow, arrow, arrow. This is the Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle. Excuse me. And this is the inner membrane. Okay, good. So now what's happening is that there's high energy outside. There's high energy outside that wants to go in. So because of that, it is downhill. It's coming in. It's a release of electrons. So like I said before, that is downhill because it is releasing of electrons. There's all these there's high energy outside right here waiting to go in. So that's what makes it a downhill reaction. So the point of pyruvate to the Krebs cycle, the reason why that's happening is to extract the high energy electrons. Okay, good. So now 2 electrons, right here we'll draw this. 2 electrons, they are being stripped, or I guess taken, off of the Krebs cycle. Okay? And that is waste as CO2. That is